A warm welcome to you all and welcome to the Business Link, a platform where we bring you the best from the world of business. I am ESTHER Aidoo. In our first story, some traders at Accra's popular Okaishi drag lane are demonstrating against an eviction process initiated by the owners of the space. The traders have traded their wares for years. The owner of the space, a Nigerian, says they can no longer occupy the frontage of his property. They are calling on the government to intervene.
To complete. We were here when certain Nigeria came here to buy the land and build a shop. You have built the shop. We are okay with it. You told us at first we are at the back. We went back small. But you told us to bring our things for it so that you can be able to build your shop, so that metals will not come and fall on our heads. So we decided to push our things forward so that you can get the space and build your shop. You have finished building the shop, and now see what you have done. See the change you have brought. Now you have pushed us from the pavement where we used to sit first. You have pushed us from there and have brought us to the street. We are now sitting on the main street. In Ghana, in this Ghana, Mbakwala shopping mall, Okanshi drag lane, Bank of Ghana. People are trading there. There are traders all over Accra. People sitting on the pavement are plenty. And Nigerian will come and build this shop and be sacking us from here. Are we Ghanaians? Our mothers have been struck.
Boy. I go. Nana. Kwafo, Asantefo. What there? Kwafo, Asantefo. You done it 12, Nana. You don't see it tomorrow. More piaf, Nana. More piaf. You don't see it tomorrow. Nana, Okashi. Fitze Kokatre. What's the Canadian and two? You best say, come on, 50 years. You best say, come on, Papa was 34 years. Neither my afano. What is it? Nana Farme. Aquamana Farme. Tinana me by chow. You must have come on. What's it been to? And say, yes, I am to me, Quachiana. Papa. Your friend, I'm much in the dog country. I'm much in the dog country.
And the bum. Yes, Slamo. Munkabimayo. I'm on penny.
Still in Business Link, the Office of the Auditor General has issued a formal apology after an error in its nationwide payroll audit wrongly linked a public servant to an alleged unearned salary exceeding 427 million Ghana cedis. The clarification follows public controversy generated by findings from the audit, which covered the period from January 1, 2023 to June 30, 2025. An economist, Dr. Paula Aidoo, has been speaking to us on the reputational damage this can cause the Office of the Auditor General with regards to payroll audits.
When it comes to ensuring public accountability in public spending and also in the public payroll system, it is the Auditor General reports that give an account of the level of accountability and transparency public spending in general. So for such an error to have come from the Office of the Auditor General, it affects the kind of trust and the credibility of the Office of the Auditor General. And when that trust is broken, then the kind of information produced by the Office of the Auditor General may be less useful, because we have institutions like Parliament making use of the reports that come from the Office of the Auditor General. Anti-corruption agencies also make use of such kind of information. And so when the trust is broken, the information may become less useful. People may not put value on audit reports produced by the Office of the Auditor General. The next issue also has to do with the implication of the individuals that are concerned. It can have reputational damages on the individuals concerned, and if the individual decides to take the Office of the Auditor General on, which may affect the attention that is given to its work, it's important that the Auditor General takes them to redeem its image. It's also to streamline the process or read forms to ensure that there are verification systems in place to ensure the validity of information in the Auditor General reports before they are published. To build trust and confidence in reports that are produced by the Office of Auditor General.
Ghana is intensifying efforts to expand trade and investment ties with Europe as preparations begin for Ghana First Europe 2026 in the Netherlands. The initiative is expected to create new market opportunities for Ghanaian businesses while promoting value-added exports and cultural products on the global stage.
Ghana is looking beyond traditional exports to strengthen its position in global trade, and Ghana First Europe 2026 is being positioned as a key platform to drive that shift. At the official launch, Operations Manager of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Frederick Aidoo described the event as more than an expo, calling it a strategic gateway to connect Ghanaian businesses to European markets.
Ghana First Europe is our flagship international trade and cultural platform, and it is the most tangible expression of that commitment. The success of our inaugural edition laid a strong foundation, and what we are witnessing today is the culmination of deliberate strategic planning to make the 2026 edition even more impactful.
Beyond trade, the event will also highlight Ghana's cultural and creative industries as part of a broader economic strategy. Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Gilbert Abekwagri, said Ghana must reduce its dependence on commodities like gold, cocoa, and oil, and instead leverage tourism and cultural exports as key drivers of growth.
Tourism intersects with trade, investment and promotion. Today, Kente has been recognized at UNESCO as a cultural intangible heritage product. Our Fugu has also gained global recognition and acceptance. Not only that, our film, our music, our culture are all non-traditional export products, and that is where tourism sits. So we find ourselves as a key partner, aligning with the vision or the objective of the Ghana First Live in Amsterdam, which is an European trade market platform that we will exhibit these products and sell.
The 2026 edition, scheduled to take place at the World Trade Center in Amsterdam, will focus on trade exhibitions, business-to-business engagements, and investment promotion across sectors including agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and fintech. The initiative also targets over 50 export-ready Ghanaian companies and aims to secure major investment agreements, reinforcing Ghana's push towards a more diversified and resilient economy.
Still on building trade ties, Ghana is sharpening its edge as a leading destination for global capital, taking its investment drive to the world stage. In London, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Mrs. Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, showcased the country's bold industrial agenda at the Commonwealth Business Forum.
Since its establishment in 2014, the Commonwealth Business Forum has evolved into a premier global platform, drawing influential decision makers and industry leaders from across the world. It has become a powerful arena where the world's key shapers and movers converge to shape trade, investment, and economic transformation across Commonwealth markets. Speaking at the forum, Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Mrs. Elizabeth Ofosu-Adjare, underscored Africa's growing influence in the global economy, describing the continent as the fastest growing investment frontier with expanding opportunities for strategic partnerships. She highlighted Ghana's deliberate shift from exporting raw materials to building a value-driven industrial economy, pointing to initiatives to process at least half of the country's cocoa output locally and scale up gold refining capacity.
Ghana is Africa's leading gold producer, with output reaching nearly 5 million ounces in 2024. Historically, almost all of it left the country as unrefined gold bars, with the refining margins estimated at 5 to 10% of the metal value captured abroad. The Ghana Gold Board, established under the Gold Board Act 2025, is now centralizing oversight of gold purchasing, assaying, and local refining.
The minister also emphasized Ghana's competitive edge, including its stable democratic environment, investor-friendly legal regime, and its strategic role as host of the AFCFTA Secretariat, giving businesses access to a single market of over 1.4 billion people. She reaffirmed government's commitment to deepening reforms that enhance investor confidence, citing the GIPA bill as a key step toward improving ease of doing business and strengthening protections for investors.
A deliberate decision decades ago to build a diversified economy anchored in services, technology, and connectivity. Services like banking, telecommunication, tourism, and financial technology now account for 44% of Rwanda's economy.
The forum, held under the theme Africa's Next Chapter, Building Resilient, Diversified Economies, brought together policymakers, investors, and business leaders to explore new pathways for sustainable growth across the Commonwealth.
The Rastafari Council Ghana has renewed calls for the complete legalization and regulation of cannabis. They argued that the industry holds significant potential to support Ghana's proposed 24-hour economy, create jobs, and generate government revenue. The call was made at the 5th National Cannabis Conference held in Accra.
Advocates for cannabis reform say continued prohibition has done little to curb illegal activities within the industry, while denying the state's potential economic benefits. Globally, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimates that illicit drug markets are worth hundreds of billions of dollars annually, fueled largely by unregulated cultivation and cross-border trafficking. In Ghana, emerging estimates suggest the informal cannabis market alone could be valued at over 14 billion cedis. Speaking at the event, Chair in Finance and Economics of Bank of Ghana at the University of Ghana, Professor Imhotep Paul Alajidede explained that Ghana's proposed 24-hour economy aims to keep key sectors including agriculture, manufacturing, transport, logistics, ports, warehousing and retail operating in continuous shifts to boost productivity and growth.
So in the 24-hour economy, as we've reset the system, you need new products, new crops over and above cocoa, shea nuts, and the other traditional exports that we have been using. And I think that cannabis really holds an important position in this. In the pharmaceutical industry, anywhere from pain medication, anxiety, including some of the most difficult neurodegenerative diseases that our common pharmaceutical system cannot treat. There is some scientific research that is pointing to, very good results that is coming out of people who have gone to use.
President of the Rastafari Council Ghana, Ahuma Bosco Okansi, said the objective of the conference was to shift public discourse from criminalization to economic opportunity, insisting that regulation, not prohibition, is the more effective approach.
Statistics indicating what is being done elsewhere in Africa and how Ghana can also close the gap in terms of revenue generation from cannabis. A positive outlook on cannabis can do: one, it can create jobs; two, it can generate wealth. And
proponents say the focus should remain on balanced regulation, one that addresses social concerns while unlocking economic potential and criminal justice challenges linked to illicit trade and enforcement.
Let's go to the Interbank and Commodity Board.
The second time this Ghana Festival.
And that's all for Business Link for today. I am Esther Aidoo.